Alright, full disclosure on this one, Toby reached out to me recently directly and asked if I would take a look at the Tobii Eye Tracker 5 if they sent me one. I agreed to take a look and give it an honest review. The Tobii Eye Tracker, if you haven't heard of it, is a USB sensor bar that sticks to the bottom of your monitor and it tracks your eye movement as well as your head movement simultaneously. This means you can get accurate feedback on your eye's focal location on the screen as well as head tracking. Tobii's been around for a while now and they've added 174 games to their compatibility list. This means you can purchase the Tobii, plug it in, and it'll start working with those games almost immediately. So what is head tracking? If you're new to DCS and you've watched any of my videos or most DCS YouTuber videos, you will have seen head tracking. In DCS, if you don't have head tracking, typically what you'll do is you'll map your joystick's hat switch or some keys on your keyboard to your head movement, up, down, left, and right. And this is absolutely mandatory in DCS if you're going to be anywhere near effective in the cockpit, whether it be looking at your MFDs, setting up your weapons, or looking outside the cockpit in a dogfight. Now for years, I didn't have any type of head tracking or VR or anything, and I had my hat switch as my head movement. I was able to manage my cockpit fairly well, whether it be running sensors or configuring weapons, but as soon as I got into any dogfight with a human, I was dead immediately. And it was basically because I lost all situational awareness because I couldn't move my head fast enough. I tried with sensitivity, moving the hat switch around and moving my head faster. It didn't really work. With head tracking, that's not the case. It tracks your head movement, and that correlates to the head movement inside the virtual cockpit in DCS. So now you can look up a little bit, and in DCS, it looks up. Look down a little bit, it looks down. You can lean in to look closer. You can lean to the side. You get a full view of the 3D model of the virtual cockpit in DCS. If you're running BFM with a hat switch, it's possible to take down human opponents, but with head tracking, it is so much more simple to keep your eyes on the target and not lose situational awareness. Along with the head tracking, Tobii also tracks your eyes, and it can give you an actual representation on the screen of what your eyes are looking at. I was actually really surprised at how accurate this was. You can turn this on so it's visible on your screen, and it'll be visible even if you stream it either via Twitch or Discord, or you're doing screen capture. You'll be able to see the ghost bubble. This is really valuable if you're trying to do a tutorial or you're trying to teach someone something. They can see what you're looking at. Instead of you having to describe every single thing you're doing, they can actually see the switches that you're looking at before you even click them. On the opposite side, if you're in a multiplayer community on Discord and you're streaming your screen to someone who's trying to help you, they can see what you're looking at and guide you through the process. One of the benefits to the eye tracker that helped me a lot was debriefing. You can download OBS Studio for free, and there is a built-in Tobii Eye Tracker plugin that allows you to turn on the ghost bubble on your screen capture, but not have it on your main screen. The benefit is I can fly without the ghost bubble on my main screen. I can actually fly like I normally do in DCS using the Tobii head tracker for my head tracking, while simultaneously screen capturing my entire flight with the bubble showing where I've been looking. What I found was after a long flight, I could stop the recording and do a debrief for myself. I can play back the flight and I can see what I was looking at key points in the flight. During a dogfight or when I'm trying to find a target, I can see where I made mistakes. I didn't check my RWR. Oh, I can see the radar on the RWR and I didn't look at it once. I didn't look at my HSD. I didn't notice my speed. Or on the opposite end, I can see where I did things right. During a dogfight, I'll see the ghost bubble snap to the speed, snap to the altitude, snap back to the target, snap to the speed. It's great to see what I'm looking at and see what I'm doing right and what I'm missing. So even if you're a dedicated single player, you don't play multiplayer ever, this is still a very great tool to use in a debrief for yourself. There's different types of eye tracking. You can use the bubble, or you can use the heat map, which tells you where you're looking more often than not. There's endless options here for colors, sizes, everything. Installation was simple. I downloaded and installed the Tobii Game Hub, plugged in the Tobii tracker into the USB port, installed the included bracket on the bottom of my monitor, and the tracker magnetically snapped right into place. Once you've installed the Tobii software, it starts the calibration process. You just line up the image of the Tobii Eye Tracker with the lines on the tracker itself on the bottom of your monitor. After that, it shows your head tracking and your eyes, and then it pops a little dot up on the screen that you have to stare at until it explodes. From there, it gives you a few more dots to look at until they explode, and then it's calibrated. That's it. From there, launch DCS or any of those 174 games and start moving sliders and curves around until you get the setting you like. I was really surprised at how customizable the settings were. You can change the sensitivity of all the axes, pitch, yaw, roll, as well as curves and dead zones. Now, Toby actually created a profile specifically for DCS, and I'll put the link in the description below. Download that profile, import it, and run DCS. It's not perfect, but it's a way better starting point than doing it on your own. I did make a couple adjustments to it to make it a little bit more sensitive in certain axes, and then I was happy with it. If you want to read up a little bit more about this product, I've got the link in the description below. Check it out.